Hello, my name is Coug, and this is my tribute to Final Fantasy number 1. As you can see, this is the Dawn of Souls version, which came out on Game Boy. I have played the original Final Fantasy, then I played this version. There's a big difference between the two, and as I go through the game, I will tell you the differences as I spot them. Now, this is my first walkthrough, so please give me a little space. I'll make errors, but I promise you, as I get better, I will not make so many more errors. This is your class screen. On it, you can choose each character's class and name. There are 6 classes. Click on the little dude to pull them up. First one is Warrior. Warrior is basically brute strength. He's got a pretty good attack, and he can, as it says, use a wide array of weapons and armor. If you are doing your first walkthrough and you just want to run through it real fast, do 4 warriors. It should be a cinch. Next class is Thief. I have never personally used a Thief. Some probably have. You can check him out. I honestly have nothing to say about him. The next is the Red Mage. Now, Red Mage can do black and white magic. However, the Red Mage cannot use the final spells, which are the level 8 spells, Flare and Full Life. Now, depends on if you want all the spells or not, or as many spells as you can get, really and truly, whether or not you choose this one, or if you, like it shows down here, go 2 separate characters, one white, one black mage. And then the other class is Monk. And this is your bare knuckled attack. And I have used the Monk before. It's pretty good, and I'm going to use him again. So, we're going to close that out, and we're going to choose our warrior's name. And of course, as I always like to do, our first character will be me. Alright, our next character will be a monk. Like I said, I like using the monk. I'm going to be choosing names from the Final Fantasy series, including names that are shortened in other games, like the last one. This is my favorite tragic heroine in the game series. And then, of course, what I consider one of the most controversial characters in the series, Vivi. Since a lot of people can't decide if it's a he, she, or just plain it. Also notice that this actually looks like Vivi. And this actually is something that, if you notice, Final Fantasy IX, Garnet is wearing when the story begins. Now that we have chosen our classes, make sure that this is the names you want and the classes you want. You will not be able to change your classes. You will only be able to upgrade them later. This is very important because sometimes the upgrades aren't really worth it. And sometimes the classes aren't really worth it. Not as far as I'm concerned, this is my usual characters. You may choose different ones. Other people may have used different ones. I go with these. And that was the wrong button. There we go. Yes, I hit lots of wrong buttons. Now, this is the opening intro scene. This is where they give you the old gloom and doom story. The world lies enshrouded in darkness. That's pretty typical in most fantasy games. There's always some form of darkness somewheres. The wind, the water, couple elemental things. Those are typical in Final Fantasy, and they're actually typical in most Japanese RPGs I've seen. Is elemental rule: fire, earth, air, water. See, here's earth. If you happen to notice, up top there is a little oval that has a web address to it. That address is to a website that has a lot of really good walkthroughs. Couple of my favorite players on there is Scorch 82 and Wavagia. They have numerous games they have played and they have recorded for your enjoyment. I suggest highly going over there and checking them out. And here we see the 4 crystals. Bright, colorful crystals at that. One of the things I love about the Game Boy version is all the really good color. Alright, so now we start out in front of a town. I'm going to pause when I go shopping. And I'm going to try to pause when I do a battle. This way you don't see all this excess stuff, because battling and shopping take time up, and you really and truly, you want to see what's going to happen where you're going. I will, however, show you on the status screen the character, what level they're at, what weapons, shield, whatnot they have, just in case you want to see what they have. And as you can see, when we start out, you don't have much of anything. I'll also show you magic. In this case, if you notice, you can only do level 1. And you only have 3 spots for level 1. This is why I say magic is kind of important to decide, because you only got 3 spots per level. As you rank up, you will get access to more levels of magic, and this is how you gain magic. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in this town. Now, notice there's a little dude blocking my way. He's going to block my way. He's not going to let me out. But I'm going to come in. Well, not the end. We don't need the end. I'm going to come in here and go shopping real quick, just to show you what the shop menu looks like. This is a lot better off than the original game. In the original game, every time you wanted an object, you had to click 3 times for one object. Click on what you wanted to buy, who you wanted to go to, and like a confirm screen. It was, oh my god, horrendous. So, on this screen you can see a little green arrow at times. Sometimes you can see an equal sign, and sometimes you can see a red one. There's not a red one on here because these are all better than what they have. So, we're going to choose nunchuck, no knife. We have a staff, so we don't need to buy a staff. I'd buy a hammer and a rapier, and that's just my opinion. You don't have to. And then when you want to equip something, easiest way is to do that. And then when you sell, this is all the items in your inventory that show up. You can resell them, get more money. And when I mean inventory, I mean this items list right here. This is where your key items will go when you get key items. These are things you cannot sell. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save here. As you can see, that was my first game. I died. That was a test game, trying to get everything set up. And now we're going to save here. Alrighty, and when we come back, we will start our adventure. Have a nice day.